Look at this. You know how cool that is? Just huge thank you to my sister Amara for getting me merch. My own set of merch for Christmas. That is just hugely amazing, and I thank you so much for doing that for me. Like, it's amazing. It's so cool. Obviously I'm not big enough to even try to consider selling merch at the moment. Let alone have people who would be interested right away in buying them. Like I'm saying, it's like I'm not in big numbers right now, but just the fact of having something like this is super cool, and I have to thank you so much for having this made, and it's probably one of the best Christmas gifts I've ever received. So, shout out to my sister. Thank you so much for that. Cool. Well, it's extremely hot in here with these bright lights, and I had to turn off my fan for better sound, so yeah, I guess I'm setting the mood for the top 10 worst film. God, I don't even want to say that because I'm such a positive person. Okay, so I did my runners-up for the best films, so I guess I'll do my runner-ups for the worst films of the year, even though, okay, we're just going to call this the top 10 least best films of 2018. Not in the title, though, because that's not going to get any clicks. Come on. I mean, that's just how the YouTube game works. So, hate the game, not the player. I am bad at this. I don't care. I'm irritated because of the heat, and I got to do this just because, I mean, I don't even have to. I just want to. I've never done it before. And I just thought, hey, this might be interesting. It's stupid. So, runner-up, Overlord. Funny thing, I'm just gonna, blast positivity on a lot of these worst films, until I actually get to the ones I didn't particularly care for. Overlord I actually thought was a really good time. I was intrigued by the characters, and I had a blast. I thought it was a fun time. But, unfortunately, it didn't crack any higher than number 16, and we're only going down from there, so 16 down is where we're going. So number 17, as a runner-up, I have Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which, again, is actually a really good time. I mean, whether or not where you stand on the Teen Titans iterations and Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go to the Movies was actually, such a hilarious parody movie, and one of the best parody movies I've seen, because it just, takes the comic book genre and just does something that's so hilarious. It really is. So, seriously, that's why I didn't make the worst of the worst. Originally, it was in my top 10 for a long time until a lot more releases came out. So, that's where we stand. Okay, officially the top 10 worst films. So, I guess this would be number 10. I'm going 18 down reading them. So, technically, this is the 10th worst. God, the 10th least best film of 2018 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. And that sigh wasn't because of the film, it's because I have to say that, because Ant-Man and the Wasp is a fun time. Obviously, it's a more comedic change of pace, coming right off the heels of Infinity War, and obviously we want a bigger continuation on that. Of course, it introduces new things, but the reason it ends up lower here is because the rest of the films I didn't have as huge of a high engagement rate as I did. That's why Ant-Man and the Wasp is so much lower, and it is a really fun film, and it's the family dynamic with Scott Lang and his daughter is always great, and I love the characters that they have. It's just didn't engage me as much, and it really is a great decompressor coming off of Infinity War. It's just we went through such sad heartache, let's laugh for a bit. That's really cool. Thank you, Marvel, for giving us that. And also, thank you, Paint Reed, for making a really stellar film. Just unfortunate that it made my top 10 least best of 2018. Next up, number 9. Okay, we have Mary Poppins Returns. I literally just saw it. I had such a great time. I have the soundtrack. I'm recording this on my phone inside of what you are being captured with is the Mary Poppins Returns soundtrack, because it's such a great time. And I watched the original right before going to see it, because I hadn't seen the original since I was 3, and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued, and I was blown away with how great Mary Poppins is. It's still better than this, yeah, but Mary Poppins Returns is very close at getting there, but again, it didn't give me the highest engagement rate. I thought the story was nice. It's a really nice family film with really stellar music. Again, I own the soundtrack. And Emily Blunt killed it as Mary Poppins. Again, it's another factor of it didn't engage me, and we're only not going to get to the bad films until way past this. So, yeah, Mary Poppins Returns. Okay, 10, 8, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I actually really like this film for stupid, hilarious entertainment reasons. Kind of like, okay, if you just like want an understanding of that, go look up Black Nerd Comedies, Andre's video, on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. You know, I took it a little more serious, but he was just having like a hilarious blast, and he did that with another one of these films on here, which I would agree with. But yeah, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom I thought was shot beautifully. I really think it is a decent film. But again, the engagement rate compared to the other films wasn't as high. So that's just where we're at. So, okay, 10, 9, 8, 7. Venom. 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 It's just, oh my god. This film, I bought it on 4K. Mainly for this cover, but I bought it. I did it. Seriously, I know a lot of people were disappointed with the film. I get it. I really do. Autofocus, please come back to me. It hates me for even putting Venom in any positive of a spotlight, even though it is on the worst list. But honestly, I had a really fun time. Like, I saw it twice on opening night, and a lot of people are going to hate me for that because I supported the film twice. In IMAX, no less, both times. Mainly I did it for audience reaction purposes, which is another channel I do, which you can check out in the description, of course. The audience reaction for Venom isn't up yet, even though I'll probably get to that soon. I know it's not the best film, I know, but I think it has some positive things in it, positive elements. I thought Tom Hardy was great. I honestly think Venom looks great. I think the effects were really good. Not like the best effects I've seen, that went to Infinity War, but the effects aren't bad. I don't know what people expect liquid goop to look like other than that. What do you want? I don't know. And yeah, obviously it could have been better, you know, having Spider-Man in it, maybe having it in the MCU, of course. But I had a fun time with it, and I actually am looking forward to Venom 2, so that's just where we are at. So, okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Number 6, I have Annihilation. This may make people hate me because I have it so low on the list. I don't even think it's a bad film. I think it's a very intriguing, makes you think film, which a lot of people got that same vibe as well. And honestly, it really is a fun, not fun, but it's a really interesting movie that just like really just had me perplexed a lot of the time. Not in a way of like confusion, just like, wow, okay, so this, alright. And it makes you think, it makes you question things, and it really is a interesting flick, but it's not like something that I had such a huge high engagement with that I want to really have a lot of repeat viewings with. Okay, next up, I have Christopher Robin. Again, this is not a bad film. This is a very nice, family-friendly Disney film that had me very emotional on multiple points because I forgot how much I really loved Winnie the Pooh until the credits started, and I was like, oh my god, that's right. Disney just like literally like as soon as the projector came on for the film reached into my heart and was like, hey, we're just gonna hold that for a second. And I was like, oh, alright. And then at the right moments they squeezed my heart and made me cry quite a few times, and then they didn't let go until the very end. So Disney emotionally manipulates me. Could have been the name of this, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get through this because it's late. It's almost midnight, and these lights are bright, and they took forever to set up because I have too small of a setup to do this in. I don't even know how well the green screen effect is going through. Yeah, that's right, it's green screen. I don't care. Christopher Robin's on this list, even though it's great, and Ewan McGregor is always a win. That's just where we are. Next up, you're all gonna hate me. You're all gonna hate me so much because it is literally my fourth worst film of the year. It's First Man. Not because it's a bad film. I assure you it's not. I will say when I did see it, I was a little tired. And it is quite a long movie, but I was never like, oh god, this film sucks. I was never like that. I was always intrigued. I love just following the human nature behind Neil Armstrong and his family, and Claire Foy's character is fantastic, and of course Ryan Gosling killed it. Damien Chazelle. My favorite film he's made is Whiplash, so of course I was intrigued to go into this. And it's a killer film. It really is. It's so good. The IMAX lunar sequence was amazing. It was breathtaking. Took a while to get there, but emotionally impactful. And I do believe it is such a well-made film. Another reason you guys are going to hate me is because I went to go see it once. I've only seen it once on opening night in IMAX. Yet I saw Venom twice, and I'm a garbage human being. I know. I get it. I don't know, man. Look, I went to support the film. And yeah, granted, I supported another film that was of lesser quality more so. But that's just a personal thing. And I really do believe we should just, like, seriously, just, like, if somebody likes them, I don't even care if you like any of the Twilight films or you like any of the Transformer films, the Michael Bay ones. If you honestly really like those films, that's fine. You're not a lesser person for it. You're really not. My best friend, his favorite Transformers film is Revenge of the Fallen. You've seen him on this channel. His favorite film is Revenge of the Fallen. That is considered one of the worst Transformers films until Age of Extinction came out. And yeah, I don't think it's such a great film, but we grew up with it in middle school, which we were the target demographic, so of course we have, like, fond memory attached to it. Venom, I have a fond attachment to Venom as well, and from a young age, and I'm a guy who also grew up with Spider-Man 3 and loved that film to death, so I wasn't really ever bothered by Topher Grace's Venom. So, you know, that's the warped mind you're dealing with right now. That's under these bright lights and is just wickedly annoyed, and I'm running out of filming space, so I'm just going to cut to the next few films, the top 3 of the worst, that I actually do consider to be not very good to bad. Not, like, even, like, bad, because I really don't even hate any of these films. I'm even going to, like, list some positive. So, number 3 worst film, Predator. Yeah, Predator, of course, it's down here because it's not as high of an engaging film, and that really sucks because a lot of people think the Alien Predator films are being run into the ground. I think the Alien films are doing quite great. I like what Ridley Scott's doing. I wanted them to set up an Alien vs. Predator universe again. That's actually canon. I think that would be cool. As far as the Predator went, it was a pretty fun action flick while I was watching, and the dark comedy was funny at the time. Looking back at it, though, of course, it's not very well done. I believe channel A Closer Look, he did a video of how not to do a reboot with the Predator, and I 100% agree with him for the entire thing. Even though I did have a fun time while watching, in Dolby Cinema no less. Yeah, I know, it's not that great of a film. It's pretty mediocre, I understand. Number 2, The Happy Time Murders. This is actually funny because, like, I agree, it's nothing special of a film. It really isn't. The intriguement comes from the concept. Muppet quality puppets living in a world not so child-friendly. Yeah, that is a great concept. Was it done very well? No, it wasn't the most engaging story, unfortunately. I was intrigued by it mainly from the puppeteering because I like the concept of puppeteering. The Jim Henson studio stuff is always killer, and they even have, like, a behind-the-scenes reel playing during the credits of how they made the film, and I thought it was really cool. It was probably my highlight of the film. I think my dad even said that too when he saw it with me, which was really awkward to watch with my dad. We both agreed this is a film we should not have watched together. We should have watched separately with our own friends, but I saw it with my father. That was a mistake. Yeah, it was funny in some moments, for sure. The concept is great, but it could have went way better. And the number 1 least best film of 2018 is 100% The Meg. Alright, you know, just to sum it up because I've not seen it since it came out. The Meg, I thought, was just a dumb, fun monster flick in the kin to some of the old giant monster movies that you would see, and is it a higher budget sci-fi original film? Probably, even though it wasn't as crazy as, like, Five-Headed Shark Attack. That's a real film. So, yeah, that's just where I stand. The Meg, it's the least best. Of course it is. Like, I never wanted to revisit it. Still don't. Not really. So, yeah, that's just where I stand. So, guys, what did you think of my top 10 worst or least best films of 2018? Is there any you wish you would have been on here? I don't care too much because I don't like being negative. I prefer to be positive. It's the best thing. I prefer cinema wins over cinema sins, and people are actually agreeing now that that goes way better anyway, because CinemaWins actually is like appreciating the film, where CinemaSins is going out to throw useless insults. So it doesn't matter. I'm out of record time. If you like this video or you want a more coherent one and watch my top 10 best, you can go do that. Hit the like button, subscribe, and already. That being said, I hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always. I'm done with this. Really hope I put the right thumbnail on there.